It's finally 2021. Time to set some goals. So I got multiple goal types: writing, reading, life, and YouTube. So starting with writing, I want to get to the beta reading stage this year. Honestly, I'd like to straight up finish this manuscript, but I'm also, I do this part-time, it's like a hobby kind of thing, and I feel like this year is going to be really busy, because, 2020, it was like everything got put on pause, and I feel like this year, it's all going to come crashing down on our heads. Is that negative? Might be too negative. But anyway, beta reading. At the moment, I'm working through the logistics about how the story's working and what's going on in the background. And to do that, I wrote a whole other outline from the point of view of this whole other background character and what she's been doing while the main characters are doing their thing. It's getting a little more coherent. I like that. So I'm hoping to be done with the rewrites from that and get through an edit pass by April. We'll see how that turns out. I've also been thinking about what I could work on while the story's off to beta readers, and I kind of realized that as I was writing that outline, that could be a whole other novel. There was a lot going on there. Like a companion novel, not like a sequel, but a companion novel, like a short little, maybe not like a full novel, like a novelette. But also, speaking of sequels, I did also realize that the story that I'm working on, which was originally supposed to be a standalone, has this whole other side issue that I did not resolve and cannot be resolved in one book. So maybe there's going to be a sequel on that too. Haven't even finished writing this, and it's already expanded. Although a while ago I was complaining that I had so much fun making this world for a standalone, so maybe this is a good thing. Honestly, I have no idea how long the beta process will take. How I have my story divided right now, and if I gave beta readers a week for each division, it would take the whole year. So I gotta think about how I gotta chop it up. I don't think giving the entire book is the best idea. I feel that might burn people out, but I don't know. That's still a couple months away. Let me focus on writing the story first. I've opened up a gigantic hole in this thing, and I need to fill it back in. Anyway, other writing goals not related to my main project is I want to start writing some more short fiction. Actually, you know what? Charlie's videos on that have really gotten me more into that. So, yay Charlie, thank you. And also, I have that fan fiction I need to edit and put up. I've been putting up some chapters, as I edit them, and some of the fans seem to think that I've written a conclusion to the series, and I haven't. I have a feeling that I might get guilted into finishing the series. I could sense it already. So maybe that might happen later this year. I don't know. Maybe that'll be next Nano's project. So that was writing. Moving on to reading. I set my Goodreads challenge to 40 this year. It was 40 it was 20 last year, and then I bumped it up to 40 and then failed to meet 40. So I'm doing 40 again. This could be a very big mistake. I'm resolving to read more crime fiction, especially since that will help with my story. I wouldn't really class it as a crime thriller, but, I do have a detective as one of the characters in the story. And I've been lucky because it's a different country that I completely made up, and the main character has no idea how the police work at all, and she's been comparing things that have been happening to what she sees on TV. So I've been able to just make up stuff. I did research on police, procedure, and I tried to make it accurate, but I have also been, changing things for convenience. I feel like reading more crime thrillers might be a good thing, because yeah, it's true that police, they function differently in every country, but there are some expectations that need to be met, especially in an English speaking audience. Okay, I ended up talking about writing again. Back to books. There are a few books this year that I'm looking forward to. Some have been out for a while, and others are coming out this year. There are 2 series that I want to finish first. It's the Scythe series. I need to finish reading the last book, and also Ember in the Ashes. I need to read the 2 next books. I only read the first 2. And Ember in the Ashes, A Torch in the Night. Read both of those. The Torch in the Night, you know what? The way it ended kinda killed the 3rd book for me a little bit, but I'm getting over it. It wasn't the big thing that happens in the end. It was this one character, this one little child, said this one line, and I was like, this book is ruined. This book is ruined for me. It kind of slaps me right out of the story, and I haven't been able to get quite back into it. But I am going to finish the series this year, because it's a good series if you've never heard of it. It's got murder. That's my #1 requirement. Anyway, moving on. I also have Legendborn. It's been sitting in my Kindle for a while, and I need to read that. It looks super cute. It's got magic, it's got secret societies, all that stuff. Little teenagers. It's like a 16-year-old teenager. That's like the magic number. 16-year-olds in YA. Everyone is 16. Why is everyone 16? Except for Bella Swan, she was 17. Another book that has already been out that I want to read is Secret Life of Addie LaRue. No, that's not the name of the book. What is the name? The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Anyway, it's not 100% something I would read, but it does sound interesting, if that makes sense. That could be like an end of the year read. Then there's this year's releases. Oaths of Legacy. It's the sequel to Bonds of Brass, which I freaking loved. Love that book. Let's be real though, the cover to the 2nd book, not as good as the 1st book. But we don't care about the cover too much. The ending in Bonds of Brass was amazing. It was amazing. And just reading the description for the book, I kind of think it's going to be from the other guy's perspective this time, which I am all here for. Then after that, there's an adult fantasy that's coming out in June. It's like a little Red Riding Hood kind of thing. What's it called? For the Wolf. It's called For the Wolf. And I have no idea how this came across my radar, but it did, and it sounds great. It's about this girl that gets sent out to the woods to be eaten by a wolf as a sacrifice to appease the spooky wolf. And if my expert book description analysis skills are accurate, it's a love story. Another one I want to read is The Witch King. It's actually from someone who I've been following on Twitter forever. Like, they're one of the first people I followed. They've just been on my feed since the beginning. So it's coming out in June. It's about a trans masculine witch boy and a fae prince. Sign me up. I read the reviews of I think beta readers, and I'm getting super hyped because they're all fawning over this thing. And then lastly, for specific books I want to read this year is The Gilded Ones, also featuring a 16-year-old, because all YA protagonists are 16. But that's okay. That's okay. That's not me taking a dig. I just find it funny. But anyway, our protagonist has gold blood. And gotta be honest, I was sold from that fact. Any story that you have concocted that is based on the fact that one character has golden blood, it's gotta be interesting. And then you add in demons and immortality, it was just sold. Moving on to life goals. Life. Oh, okay. Survive. There's one. I want to stay on track counting calories. I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit during the holidays. Although, I have not gained any weight, even though I have overeaten for a week straight. But I've not gained any weight back. So that's good. Might be famous last words. I might get on the scale tomorrow and be 5 pounds just out of nowhere. That does happen. It's very weird. Another goal, I want to at least visit my friends this year when America isn't banned from every other country on the planet anymore. That would be nice. All of my friends are in Japan. Every single last one of them. They've been on my case for years trying to get me to move back, and this year, now that 2020 happens, it has ramped up. They're like, what are you doing? Get out of there. Come back to Japan. So, I've been considering that. I don't know. Problem is that I wasn't really sold on teaching for a living, which is like kind of like the only job I'm qualified to do. Like even here in America, that's really the only job I'm qualified to do. But there's a difference doing it here than in Japan. Also, Japan's, is not that great as far as like LGBT rights go. That's also a consideration. There's no same-sex marriage. There's no same-sex adoption. Lesbians are not allowed to get like, in vitro, like artificial insemination. That's not allowed. There's no protections at all. I mean, national protections. There's certain cities that have like, hey, let's do city protections, but there's no national protections. And I do like Japan. I enjoy living there. I love the people. It's pretty chill. When you're there, you don't have to worry about getting catcalled or getting freaking shot, which is always nice. But I feel like moving there, you also kind of surrender several rights you have as a person, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Also, I owe SoftBank like $300. Every time I try to get in contact with that company, something goes wrong. Like, I've been trying to pay them their freaking money, but I just can't do it. I don't know what's happening. Like, something goes weird. Like, I'll be on the phone, and they'll be like, oh, I don't know who you have to talk to. And then, like, the conversation ends. Okay, do you want your money? And then I was there. Then I was there in the country, and I completely forgot to go into the store physically. So I feel like I'm gonna owe them money forever, to the point where if I step into the country, I'm just gonna get arrested on the spot. Anyway, other than contemplating my life moving forward, I have no real big plans for 2021. Save money. Exist. The camera turned off. Yes, it did. I wish this camera recorded more than 15 minutes at a time. My goals for life have always been ages. It was 14, 18, 21, 25, 28, 32, 36, 42. Those were my life goals. I'm not sure I should have revealed that. Oh, but this year will be one of those special years where I'll hit one of those goals. Which one do you think it is? Anyway, last on the list is YouTube goals. As far as YouTube is concerned, this channel is still something I'm doing for fun because I like putting my thoughts on video and editing them, even if no one watches. But I feel like I should be a little more involved in the community. Maybe, I'll go on more live streams. There's open invitations to live streams. Like, I could very easily just be on them all the time. But I don't, because doesn't occur to me. A lot of the time, it never occurs to me that I could, like, reach out to people. Like, that people exist and they can be interacted with. That's always been an issue of mine. I gotta start consciously being like, hey, I could do that. It's really been a lifelong struggle. It's like, why didn't you ask for directions? Why didn't you ask for help from this person who's being paid to help you? Why didn't you use this tool that's free and accessible? I don't know. It didn't occur to me. Anyway, get involved. Now that is a goal. Also, maybe make a new thumbnail design. And maybe actually take photos for the thumbnails, which is going to be very difficult for me. It's a very lofty goal for me, actually. When I'm done with these videos, I'm like, bra off, pajamas on. Anyway, those are my 2021 goals. I might not be making any videos until like mid-February, except for Orla's Off the Tube anthology, because starting next week I have a month-long class that's going to be super intensive and will take up all of my time, and whatever free time I have outside of that class is going to get sucked up with working with my family. So I'm about to have no life at all with no time for anything. So see you on the flip side of that. good luck with your goals and whatever you're doing.